What is going on, everybody? If you listen to everybody else, then they told you it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. And they were telling you there's not going to be a pump, that we got a dump coming, that everything's going to be bad. Like, oh no. But if you listen to me, I was telling you we're going to get a relief rally around the end of October. And I've been telling you that since September. Now, if you listen to me, you're feeling super good about today. If you didn't listen to me, you're like, oh my God, what did I do? Well, for starters, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell to be notified, and leave a comment down below. You can tell me I'm right because my slogan is I'm always right. But let's go look at the chart right now and we can see what's going on. And then you can say, well, this is just crazy right here. This guy's just drawing things like in a crazy pattern because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Right? Well, fair enough. But here is, and we've been seeing this playing out for a long period of time, right? There was this major sort of resistance level that was coming down from the all-time high that got broken right about here, right? And we started to move over, which lended ourselves an opportunity to finally start to use this as a support line as we broke here. And we used it for support here, 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 and here. Then we started to break down right about here on this massive little sell-off. Now, we know that this was, in fact, it was not Bitcoin directed. This was a massive sell down that was happening on the Ethereum chain because there was a whale who had millions of dollars and he was defending Ethereum at about 1300, and the European market was having a nice little crash that night, and then all of a sudden the opportunity presented itself. So you saw a massive sell-off dropping to 1241, which was where it would triggered his stop loss. And then all of a sudden, liquidation after liquidation as it continued to cascade down. So then it got caught back up immediately, pumped all the way back into this channel. Then we saw this kind of flatten out. And you can maybe even make an argument that it was going back here a little bit further because this line just seems to have been supported for all that time. But nonetheless, we had this line, and then we started to channel inside here. And then I said, we're going to have a breakout, and the breakout should happen like Sunday should be when we have the breakout. And guess what? We end up having the breakout on exactly that day. Not only did we have the breakout on that day, but we also had this kind of line of support here that was kind of showing up at the last sort of minute here. Like it hit right here, and then we saw it kind of hit here, then we saw it kind of hit here. Then it became obvious that this was something, right? So we threw it down on the chart, and we started looking at it, and boom, we even used it right here as a show of support before making this big move to the upside. So here we are. If we do have a play to the downside, what the best thing that could happen here would be we get a little play off of this area right here, and then we get ready and come back up here and we test this area. Then we come up here with a little bit more support. You can see over here, there is support in this area that's going to line up with where we are. And then that takes us up to that next level. Now, the question is, how many days is that going to take? Well, this might be something that's fairly quick to happen because we've got until November 3rd before we get the notes from the Fed. And when we get the notes from the Fed, then we'll have a better idea of kind of what's going on going forward. But for right now, it looks like we've had quite a little relief rally. We do want to see this continue. We got the numbers from Google. We got the numbers from Microsoft. So it looks like there is this real positive sort of sentiment in the market right now, which could take us to another level. So the question is, where are those new levels? And, unfortunately, we're probably looking at, this is a muted rally, by the way. We're not talking about a full on, let's get after it sort of rally. So, you see here that we touched this right here. And it's important to point out that this right here touched where this is right here before getting rejected and leading to a little bit of consolidation. So we can probably assume that we're going to land somewhere in 21.8 in the next little while after coming back up here and getting to 21.2. That seems to be where the most level of support and resistance are going to end up right there. And then at the very best, I'm going to say this. I want to see this get into that golden pocket, and we know where that is. But I think this right here, 22.8, would be a nice relief rally, and it's probably going to be the best that we're going to get for right now. It looks like that's all we've got because that's all the time that we have. You have to remember that we are on a timer right now, and that timer expires right about here. So that's when we get the numbers from the Fed, and that's when we're going to know what's going on and how it goes. So you got to ask yourself, like, what can we do from here? Well, if we do this and we bounce back up, and we do this and we bounce back up, it's gonna, that looks like a lot to me to make happen. So this is gonna have to be a beautifully played out move to the upside. So we'll keep you posted about it. I'm gonna keep updating this day every day so that you guys can get an idea of what's going on with Bitcoin, and then we can see maybe what happened over the next little while, and it just might end up being something great. Moving on. All right, guys. That's what I got for right now. That's the way that this chart looks like. So we're getting a relief rally. We're in the middle of this relief rally. 21.2 looks like it's going to be the next projection right now. So, manage yourself accordingly. I'm not giving you financial advice. I am going to make I'm not taking any profit yet until I get to 21.2. That's when I'm going to pull out a little bit, and then I'm going to wait for a dip in order to ape in just a little bit more for the next run up, which I do believe goes up to 22.8. If we can get the time, if we can find the time to make this happen, then 22.8 is probably going to be that top number right now. But things are starting to look up. Maybe we get a little pullback from the Fed. They'll make things look great. If we don't, then I think that we've probably priced in 75 basis points. We get 50 basis points, it's going to go crazy. We get 75 basis points, we're going to continue what we're doing. But then 50 basis points in December will probably start the market up a little bit. Small relief rally going into, we'll probably have a down month in December and January, by the way. Think about November being maybe a nice, potentially good month. December's probably bad. January's probably going to be bad. February is always a good month because it's tax time, and you start to see people put their money and they put their tax money into the crypto market and investments in order to try to make a little bit more. So you're going to see those kind of things happen. But we got a little while, so we'll see what happens. It's not financial advice. My name is Bleez. I'm always right. We will talk to you guys again very, very